Okay folks, you might wonder why I'm sitting on a chair. Being a lazy ass like usual. Only joking. So, unfortunately, or maybe fortunate for some people, depending how you look at it, we spend a lot of time in this position here. So, in this, forward position, everything's in that flexion. Even you might regard it as, more in that sort of fetal position as well, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. The main issue is that we're stuck in this position and we're not actually moving the tissue through its full range of motion. Depending if you wear high heels, I don't make a habit of wearing high heels, but if you wear high heels, you're going to be in that plantar flexion all the time, even when you're in a seating position. Obviously, when you're standing and have high heels, your foot's going to be in that position there, depending on how high they are. Ladies who wear high heels. Maybe some blokes, I don't know. Anyway, you're going to be stuck in the position, so that tissue up there is going to be tight, and you're not going to be getting that full range that you would normally be getting by not wearing high heels. So that becomes a problem, becomes a restriction. Also from sitting in this position here, the main one's going to be shortening through these hip flexors. So an easy example that you, to give yourself, if you want to have a go at it, what it's like to be stuck in a position over a long period of time. Something simple you can do is get in a seated position there, grab a bit of skin if you can, grab that bit of skin there, you do one side or both sides, and that's going to simulate a restriction or you getting shorter through that section of the hip. So grab that and then try to stand up. And you're going to notice it's going to be quite hard. You're going to have to sort of anteriorly tilt that pelvis to get in that position. And if you hold on to that skin, it feels quite awkward to walk. But funny enough, a lot of people unwittingly get in that position like a duck, and they'll walk around like that the whole time, not realising they've actually shortened through that section of the hip. So that's why they have the problems as well. Also, from being in that slouched position, you're going to get that flattening of the lower back, and you're going to get that kyphotic upper thoracic, and then also with that head's going to be extended. So forward, and it's going to be extended up that upper cervical spine as well. So in that hunched out position, and that can lead to other stuff like mouse arm or something like that. You've got one elevated shoulder, so you're in that position, looking like something's come out of, looking like Quasimodo, coming out of Notre Dame Church or whatever it is. Something like that anyway. So we're going to address the ankle first. So with the ankle joint, there's something simple you can do up against the wall. So try to get your feet even, nice and even, get your hips even, and just pushing your knees over your toes, just in that position there. And basically what you want to do with that, rotating your hips one way or the other, just trying to assess, maybe one goes further forward than the other. So say my right goes further forward, than my left, well then possibly the left one is going to be a little bit more restricted than the right, in a nutshell. But what you can do for that, basically we just want to restore that motion through the ankle joint. So you can use the wall for support if you would like. And all we're going to do there is basically just going forward, touching with the with whichever leg you want to start with. So starting on the left, just touching forward with the right. And then you can touch back and touch forward and touch back. Enjoy just a nice smooth motion. And if you're happy with that, well then you can start to throw in a couple of other placements with the foot. So basically, we're just trying to get some movement happening through that stationary ankle joint. So I'm basically just trying to get that movement going. And as I'm going across the body and doing different angles like that, depending on your capabilities, I'm trying to get that inversion and eversion of the foot. So basically just trying to get that foot to move through all planes of motion. And just a nice subtle movement is what we're after. Nothing quick, it's not meant to be explosive, just something nice and subtle that you can do. And if you've been in that position all day, wearing high heels, or even for blokes, if you've got work boots that are chocked up at the back or something, you don't want to do anything real explosive where you're going to load that tissue and potentially cause an injury or some type of strain. So something simple like that, just rock through that, just trying to get the ankle moving. Another option is to have the ice cream lid, put the ice cream lid under this foot here, and you can push it out and around. And obviously just do both sides. And just move around different angles, you can mix it up. Maybe just trying to get this ankle to move a little bit better. And then if you want, you can go back to the original one and just see if you get any further towards the wall. So, assess and reassess is the aim of the game. So we've just addressed that. So in regards to, say, hip flexors, they're going to be a little bit tight. We could do something simple as a active sort of hip mode. So you can do the standing, but I'll do it in a kneeling position. So what I'm going to do there is try to keep a neutral spine. Don't want to be rolling forward or extending back like that. So just a nice neutral spine there. And all I'm going to do there is push hips forward and come back. And as I'm doing that, I'm just going to actively squeeze the glute, hips forward, squeeze the glute, hips forward. And then I'm just going to pulse back and forth doing that. So to progress that exercise, stand up on the toes in that position there, if you're able to. And then same thing, just pulsing back and forth. And then if you're happy with that, you can throw on some arm movements overhead. Just going to that point of stretch. So if I can only get there, I'm just going to there. I'm not going to go any further and hyperextend that lower back. And just trying to open up through the front of that hip there. So there's one on the floor. Also you can do the similar sort of thing there. Just standing. So I'll shorten my stance a little bit. Stride through the front of the hip. I'm actively squeezing that glute as I come forward, like so. And then also you can throw in some stuff, bit of a sideways bend as well, just to target a little bit through that lateral sort of tissue, try to open up through there as well. There's always another option. So you'll know yourself if you feel tight somewhere, just working that side a little bit more. And you can rock through that, 10 to 15 times. Do both sides, obviously. And then, you're just trying to get some lengthening through that front of the hip, so you're not in that duck walk or tilted position. Try to lengthen up through there. So now we'll move on in regards to the thoracic spine. So a simple mode we can do, you can do a bent knee if you'd like, creates a little bit more stability even though you want to get out of that position. What we do there, possibly put a pillow on your head as well so you get something to rest on. Is basically just going to draw across, rotate back to where you're happy, yep. And then we're just going to go here. And with all these exercises, as you go to load, we're just going to breathe out and then breathe in. So I'm just trying to get some rotation through that thoracic spine as well. And once again, do both sides. Okay. So, obviously you can do that with straight legs, but you might have a problem when you start rolling over, so bent knees is okay. So we've done that one there, try to move, we get some rotation of that thoracic spine. Similar, you can do that standing up. Obviously if you can't lay down on the floor of the office, we're just going to put a hand up on here, and we're just going to rotate out to the right, and then we put a step into that. So it's going to shift it a little bit. You're going to notice it more so through the front of the shoulder, but that's okay, because that's what we want to try and target as well if you're in that round shoulder forward position there. So basically going from that to try and open up and get in that open position. So hand about shoulder height, try not to shrug, nice and relaxed, just flop around. Start there, just going to step out, nice soft knees, and then come back. Once again, breathe out as you load, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and out. And yeah, do both sides. Try to open up through there. That's a great one to do. There's different variations of it, but that one works a treat. Okay, so next to move on to that locked cervical spine, so that forward head position. And that one up there, all hunched over, looking awesome, not really. So up on the wall here. So while it's hard to assess yourself, there's a couple of little things you can use that will provide you a little bit of feedback for yourself. So just up against the wall, I'm just going to put my heels, my bum, my shoulder. If you got a big badonkadonk butt, we'll get it right. Maybe you can't get all the way up there with your butt sticking in the wall. But either way, as long as you're up against the wall, shoulders, so heels, bum, shoulders, up against the wall like that. So even getting that position there of automatically opened up, just trying to maintain those points of contact. So if I was in that hunched over position, like while my bum might hit the wall, I'm not getting those other points of contact because I'm in that position. That's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but you do get some people in that position, especially old people, that have developed it over years. So just get those points of contact, opening up. So if you get that forward head, all we're doing there is basically just tucking that chin back and try and put the head on the wall. So forward position there, and just tucking that chin back towards the wall. So if you can't get all the way back to the wall, don't worry. The main thing is if you're feeling a slight stretch up behind the skull there. So that's all locked up here, up the back of the skull. You can see that. That's all locked up here. So all we're doing there is trying to stretch back and lengthen. And the main reason why I sort of get you to stand in that open position there, and I'm just trying to get those shoulders back into that retracted position and just trying to open up through there. So don't worry if it feels a bit odd, as long as it isn't painful. And it's just a slow action, so it should just feel like a slight stretch as you pull the head back. So there are a few easy ones you can do. Okay, so you could also try and mobilise through that thoracic spine. You can use things like a back ball, or get 2 tennis balls and take them together as well, or even something like a foam roller. But a cheap alternative is get like a little hand towel, basically just roll that up, and you're just going to fit that between your shoulder blades on your back. So it's not going to be too aggressive. So it'll kind of depend, but all we're going to do there is line that up on the spine between the shoulder blades. Like that, knees bent, and just palms facing up, and just try to open up through there. So all you want to do there is breathe in through the nose. Try to fill the stomach first. Like I know you can't fill the stomach, but just pulling into the bottom of the lungs first, which will make the stomach come up, in a nutshell basically. Just drawing through the nose, so filling up the bottom first, and then fill up the middle and fill up the top, and then breathe out through the mouth. The main thing you don't want to do is breathe into the neck. So as soon as you breathe into the neck, you're not getting something wrong. So if you have trouble, just relax. Whatever you need to do, listen to some good music when you get home, and just in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. And don't worry if you're not getting it exactly right. The main thing is just, possibly coming home from work or whatever you do, just opening up and just trying to relax, and just getting that position is going to help
a lot just try to open up.
So you can use something like a towel. It's not as aggressive, but obviously I'd suggest something like a back ball or something else where you could get through there and really try to open up through that spine. Okay, guys, so I hope those tips can help. Get any other comments, questions, write them down below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And peace out like usual, and I'll catch you later. Bye.